Hello friends, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, which is probably all of you, I am Wart's Figure Reviews. And today, I'm taking a look at the Halo Infinite Series 1 Jazzware figures. But, for this specific figure lineup, I am looking at the Jega Rdomnai figure and another Spartan that comes with it. So, prepare yourselves. Let's have a look at these figures. Alright, so let's get right into the figure review. If you would like, I'm putting the times up on screen so that you can skip to just see the figures themselves, because I'll just do a segment for them only. So, anyways, this set sells for retail at about $20. That's if you're lucky enough to find these guys.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
Don't look on eBay.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you?
Sell figures at an absurd price. Please don't go to that website. The box art is pretty decent. I'll show it up here on screen. Yeah, it's basically just Chief running. All the box art is pretty much the same, except for the $20 figures, which I'll review later on. But of course, we're not here for the box art. We're here for the figures. So, first, we won't be taking a look at Jega, because I'm going to save the best for last. We're taking a look at this Mark 4B Spartan. And if you don't know Mark 4B, you know, it's the armor set from Reach. Basically, the default armor set for this guy. He comes with a shock rifle. Unfortunately, Jazzware figures, I won't be taking a look at the figure quite yet, suffer from a trend of bending weapons. If you can see, it's got a little curve to it. Thankfully, it's not as bad as, you know, the usual stuff. Oof. It gets bad, let me tell you. But it's a pretty solid figure. The articulation is pretty good. Waist, movable. Just take that off. You can move the legs.
Move the legs. Move the legs.
Okay, may I say, this is cursed. It's supposed to bend like this. There's a knee pad here, right? Okay. Oh, look at this one. Oh! Yeah, I'm not sure why they did this, but now it'll bother you too. But anyway, back to the figure review. Move the legs, arms, hands. I wish they were a bit different, or they're like differently colored from the rest of the suit. It's kind of ominous when their just hands are gray. It's kind of weird, at least to me. It's a overall pretty decent figure. It's very stylized to Reach. Fantastic. I definitely would rate this pretty high. It's a great figure. Noble 6 is still alive. He's hiding in a cave, so there is our Mark 4B Spartan. And I can't remember if this thing came with a code. I'll see if it did, but I'd rate this figure 3 warts out of 5. So 3 warts for you. But anyway, we're not here to look at this Mark 4B Spartan. We're not here to look at this guy. Get out of here. Get out of here with your shotgun. So, we're on to the meat and bones of this video. The Wart. The Jega Rdomnai. The man of the hour. The Wart. So, if you're not familiar with Halo, this is an antagonist, or will be an antagonist in Halo Infinite, one of the hands of Atriox, which is the leader of the Banished, which is an alien faction. It's pretty cool. This figure has some really awesome sculpting on the back. It's really sick. Everything about this figure is super, super duper solid. Unfortunately, this figure suffers from some really funny Jazzware nonsense, which is my favorite. However, I will give props to Jazzware for these. These are only like 20 bucks. You're getting a buck for your pop out here. You're not, it's not like some figures that are just absurdly priced and crazy. It's just absurd. You'll get your money's worth from these guys, so it's not other warranted nonsense. And let's be real, nobody wants to pay $200+ for a high quality figure, you know. But anyways, so unfortunately the Jazzware line, as I was saying, suffers from some unfortunate defects. So if you take a look at this sword, you see that it's bending on all the weapons for some reason really like to bend and just really have trouble staying together sometimes as well, but this figure hasn't had an issue. I ordered this online from Walmart actually, and the first time I received it, my Jega figure unfortunately fell on the ground, and the elites, the warts, suffer from a really funny defect in their joints, and the joints are just super tiny, and they just aren't very strong, so they're very fragile, so be careful with this guy, because he can break so easily. It's just absurd. So he's really only the Jazzware line is really only for display pieces. If you're a kid, I'd only recommend playing with the $20 ones, because those on their own are great figures for playing with. And this is probably my favorite figure of the line. It's just amazing. The sculpting is great. I wish you see that, the painting, I wish the skin was a lot darker, in my personal opinion. I don't like the tan elite color scheme. I feel like the underbody could have used a lot better paint job. But as far as elite figures go, this is pretty great. There's a couple issues with it, but let's see how this stacks up against our previous entries of elite figures. So, how does this stack up against previous entries? Well, comparatively, I have my Halo Reach Elite figure. It's pretty big dude. But how does he stack up against Jega? I have to go with the McFarlane figure line for Halo, because the details are so much more vibrant and better. Yes, more vibrant and better. No, they're just more detailed, and it's just a lot better looking, so that's all. The joints, everything about it, there's more articulation. You can see there, you see that? It's just unfortunate that this line suffers from so much, because a lot is holding it back, but you're getting a lot for being cheap. And you can see this little Wartward's face. But yeah, they've accomplished a lot here, really, and these are some really awesome figures. If you're an avid Halo fan, I'd really recommend it. Now, if you're a Banish fan, I'd consider this a necessity to get. These are awesome figures. You get a Wart for your buck, as I'd say. I have to say, I'm going to steal my bias away from this figure, because it really does suffer from a lot of the concerns that I was talking about. It does suffer from a lot of the Jazzware unfortunate things. So, as far as objectively, this is not the best figure. This is my personal favorite, but it has a lot of issues, underlying issues. Especially you see the mandible. This whole time I've been trying to push that thing up, and it just won't stay. So, those are the glaring issues, and unfortunately, it suffers from a lot. The Spartan figure is pretty much perfect. I mean, I couldn't ask for more from this. I could have asked for more from this. I love the robot arm. The articulation is mediocre at best. I'm not gonna lie. Look at that. The arm swivels only move really one way. They don't really come out unless you force it, which I'm not going to force it because I'm scared the figure is going to break. That's unfortunate. We got a waist swivel here. Arm swivel only goes up and down. It doesn't really come out. We got a arm joint at the arm. Bends, it's not great. Overall, it's a pretty decent figure. So, yeah, that's what I'd rate it. Unfortunately, the Jazzware line suffers from a lot of these flaws. And comparatively to the Supreme Wart here, it just isn't up to par. Yeah, but let me say, you're getting a lot for what you paid for, especially these days with these overpriced figures, which is why I started this channel. I really wanted to review cheap figures for those cheap figure collectors out there like myself that just don't have a couple $100 to spend on these figures. It's just absurd that some figures are hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and it's just crazy. So yeah, that's what I'd give it. I think this is a decent line, and what they've got going here is great. I love the little add-ons they include with these figures for Halo Infinite, and overall it's just a great line. So if I were to give this
a score, I'd give the Jega figure probably a 2.5 warts out of 5. Wart. Overall, though, the figures, like the whole set, that's a solid 4 out of 5. Wart. 4 warts out of 5. So, yeah, this is a great figure set. I'd recommend it to anyone that loves Halo. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.